Welcome back. You're watching Daybreak on Arise News. And it's time for short, I beg your pardon, it's time for newspaper review now. So take a look at the front pages of the papers. But let's begin from the biggest one, this day of reckoning. The major headline there, Minister seeks lifting of Akpoti-Uduaghan's suspension pledges federal government's intervention there. Let's take a look at the rider. PDP Action Aid Nigeria article kick insists Akpabio must submit self for open independent investigation. That's coming from the front page of this day newspaper. Let's take a look at the strip there. Again, national electricity grid supply suffers disruption. Well, of course, the minister condemns attack on Ikeja disco. You remember that story. Disco want errant officers punished. Well, of course, the army has, of course, tender apologies at yesterday. Perhaps may have learnt lessons from there going forward. Rumbling in PDP deepens as party sets up South-South Zonal Caretaker Committee. Well, still with talking about issues with PDP. Would they be able to present themselves as an alternative party for 2027? Well, the big question is whether they are ready. They are the one, of course, to answer that question. But let's take a look at another headline there. International Women's Day 2025. Female CEOs, CSOs share insights on challenges hindering women progress. Well, you can pick up a copy of this day newspaper to take a look at the stories making headline or the round there. Well, let's take a look at the next paper here. Punch's Net, Saturday Punch. What's there? Natasha suspension. Federal government intervenes as female coalition threatens shutdown. Some of the riders read, "We are engaging parties to temper justice with mercy," says Women Affairs Minister. Kogi lawmakers suspension unjust, undemocratic. Well, that's coming from Coalition Group and WIM Base. Well, let's take a look at another one on the front page of the Saturday Punch. There, Adeleke petition CFCC alleges ex-governor Yetola stole 20 million US dollars, 1.5 billion naira. Ekiti worshippers kick out Anglican priest over leadership style. Well, of course, you can pick up a copy of the Punch to take a look at the stories there. Let's finally look at another headline here. Tinubu governors, others pay tribute as ex-presidential spokesman Okupe dies. Well, may he so rest in peace there. Well, that's it with the Punch newspaper. Let's move away as we take a look at the Guardian. Why protection laws can't tame common abuse of children. Page 8 and 9, of course, you get the details of that particular story. To the strip now, VC appointment, stakeholders lament absence of merit, assault on due process. Sunset for matriarch of Nigerian literature, Mabel Shegun, at 95. Well, a harvest of spiritual engagement as Muslim Christians fast simultaneously. Well, let's take a look, of course, at another story there. International Women's Day 2025. Calls for gender equality, protection of women's rights resonate. Well, of course, today it's International Women's Day. Of course, congratulations to all women around the world. Let's move away from that and take a look at another story. Beg your pardon, another headline quickly. Next, it's the Sun newspaper, the big one there. Pierce health scarce at 30,000 feet. Of course, you can pick up the London newspaper there, and of course, the Sun newspaper rather, and take a look at what's making the round on the front page of the Sun newspaper, talking about Three Lions Legends air drama, and you can enjoy the story there. Well, let's move away quickly as we proceed to Ghana Daily Graphic is next. And what is it saying? Is 6th independence anniversary. President unveils vision for self-reliance. You can pick up a copy of that and get to read the details of that story there. Public load cost cutting on in this day. Well, that's it with the Daily Graphic there. Let's take a look at another one here and head to other foreign newspapers now. Financial Times Weekend is next. Fed plays down economy fears after job blow. Well, Powell says no hurry to reduce rate as Trump U-turns way on Wall Street. And the expert fee takes new Thames tunnel cost to 1.2 billion pounds before work has started. Well, when you pick up a copy of Financial Times Weekend, of course you can get all the details there. Weekend is next. And the biggest headline there, it says UK animal rights may be watered down as price of Labour's Brexit reset with Europe. And you pick up that, of course, you get the details of that story. The inside story there, Mao Denzin, the king, and fast-track plan for Trump to visit Scotland. If you pick up a copy of iWeekend, of course, on page 11, you can get a detail of that story on page 11. Well, I think that's it with iWeekend. But let's quickly take a look at the Times. The Time newspaper is next. Putin doing what anyone else would say. That's coming from Trump there. Beg your pardon. Putin doing what anyone else would. That's coming from Trump and there, because Russia wants to end war despite a fresh assault. Well, that's the latest talking about, talking about geopolitical tension that is ongoing, and of course the plans by the President Donald Trump to end the war, which of course said conversations and negotiations are still on the table. Let's move away from there as we take a look at another headline there. UK bears sport to go fishing. Because for those who love fishing, you can pick up a copy of the Times newspaper to look at that. Travel special. Caitlin Morgan hit Corfu, the 24th trip. A travel expert will do again. So if you want to know something about travel and get knowledge about travel, you can pick up a copy of the Times to get the details of that. Well, Daily Mail is next. And 2 free signboard tickets, that's about 20,000 to give away. You can pick up at what that is and get to know. But the biggest headline is exclusive investigation, astonishing 250,000 luxury travel bill of Commons Speaker paid for by you. You can pick up a copy of that newspaper. Look at pages 12 to 14 to get the detail of that story. As Bulgarian espionage cell is convicted of plotting honey traps and kidnap for Moscow. Police warn of surge in Russian activity. Let's take a look at another one. How many more Putin spies in UK? That's the biggest story on Daily Mail this morning. And Russian spy cells are locking in Britain. A counter-terror chief warned as 6 Bulgarians were yesterday convicted of spying for the Kremlin. What a biggest story on the front page of the Daily Mail there. But the Daily Telegraph now is next. Well, the biggest story there says, revealed mastermind at center of Russian spy ring in Britain. Just a similar story on the front page of the Daily Mail. I think it's a similar story there. You can pick up a copy of the Daily Telegraph to just look at what that is talking about, and it still boils down of how Britain is warning about Russian spying activity within their soil. The investigation hunt for tech king who ran Bulgarian gang and hundreds of secret operations. Just pick up a copy of that to get to what it's talking about. Well, Trump talks tough to Putin over peace. Well, it's still talking about the peace talk negotiations between, Russia and Ukraine, and of course, the effort that Trump is making to perhaps bring in peace there. Well, negotiation on the table, and wait to see what the outcome looks like. Citizens newspaper is next, and the biggest story there says, "Storm, why no warning?" And you can pick up a copy of the Citizens to look at details of that particular story. Well, of course, we look at other story here now and see what other newspaper we have. Daily Mirror is next. Putin's spooks snared. Honey trap spies fifth jail. Looks like almost most of the newspapers are picking that story. And some of the writers say here it says, cops one of more cells working in Britain. And we hope to see how the government is, swinging into action to arrest, that situation there. Let's move away from there. Daily Star is next at over 100 parks, hotter than Ibiza. And you can hear, get the front page of, you can see what is on the front page. Here come the grails. Interesting, and perhaps is a time to salivate, if you may. But pick up the daily, the copy of the Daily Star and get the details of that. Well, let's look at the Daily Express before we wrap up on daybreak this morning. Russian spies carried out Putin's dirty work in the UK. Well, let's see that how it goes. Well, it's developing stories, and in the coming days, Arise, of course, will follow up and see how that it's going or develop or evolving rather. Well, that's another story there. Says blooming lovely, Britain warmer than Costas in 26 spring sun. Win a pair of tickets to Andrew Road. I think that's the advertisement for that. But that's all we have when it comes to the front pages of the newspaper. Well, it's been watching Daybreak live from the nation's capital. That's all we have time for here on Daybreak. I am Frank Komalape, and is goodbye for me. Well,